Hi, my name is Jai, always staying fly.
Hi, I'm Tatiana. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Pretty Girls Don't Speak. I think
Pretty
this
Girls
is
Don't
episode 4 right here.
I do think it's episode
Big
4.
four.
We got a big topic today.
Yeah.
And today's topic is very interesting because it's something that I feel like Jai might be a lot more healed on this topic than I am. So it's the runaway mentality. And the reason I say that is because, I'm still on my journey, as we all are, and we all struggle with certain things, more than others. And I definitely have my trauma in this subject. So a little bit of background. I was dating this guy, and the reason I was dating this guy was because I latched onto him because I was a person who was seeking outside validation. And I was seeking a home, really, in a sense. I did not feel safe in my home. I did not feel love in my home. Whether it was present for sure, looking back. However, in the moment, it was just very, very toxic, very old, traditional, and I just didn't feel accepted for who I was. I didn't feel like I could be who I was, so I jumped into somebody's arms. And this person, I was super in love, and I would stay with this person, I was completely taken care of by this person. And then a year into the relationship, this person pops up with a baby that had just been born that day. So if you do that math, this person got this girl pregnant maybe 3 months into our relationship, 4 months, and had a baby. And I found out that day that the baby was born because I super sleuthed, and I found out through Instagram, all the crazy toxic stuff. And I still stayed with that person because there was no self-love in here. So I ran away from my family that loved me, and I stayed with this person, and then I was in constant competition. And when you're in that competition, it's very toxic because you're not allowing yourself to be yourself. You're trying to one-up somebody else. You're trying to put down another human being. So then I end up leaving this relation finally. I'm starting to heal, right? I finally realized I deserve better than what I've been allowing myself to feel. And then I jump into the arms of somebody else where I wanted the outside validation from. And this was actually a very healthy person. This was a good person. And I was the toxic one. Am I the problem? I was the problem. And I still ran away from that person. This wasn't my person, for sure. I was not meant to be with this person. However, this person treated me so good, did me good. And I still ran away. And at this point, this is when I started going through my sober journey, and my healing journey, around that same time where I knew that it was time to work on the self-love. It was time to take a real deep look in the mirror and see what I was missing inside. And when I found out, that I don't like to be alone, that's why I use substance, that's why I this person is a substance, really. Like that was the drug too, is love. And I didn't feel that inside. So when I sat there and really got into my self-worth, the next people that I dated, I was quick to leave because I was like, this isn't what I deserve. This isn't what I deserve. This isn't what I deserve. But then at what point do you stop running from real love, from true love, from self-love, from family love? When do you know that it's a healthy situation that will be good for you to stay in? A lot of people don't know how to healthily solve conflict, and I think that was another big issue of mine. Was I'm quick in defense mode.
Yeah.
I'm quick in my defense mode.
Quick to run away.
Quick to run
I
away.
was quick to run away.
So that's a little bit about me. I'll let Jai tell us.
Yeah, and it can be scary. It can be scary to when love is present. It's hard for us to know what true love is, or the best people the people who have our best interests at heart. It's scary. And so when we're battling with ourselves, throughout my journey, when I was battling with myself, I would push love away. When love was potent, it was there was something inside of me that was just, I would backlash, spiritually backlash, physically backlash. Anybody who was come to me and like really just be like, oh my gosh, I love you so much, it was like, no. And at one point in my journey, since we're talking about relationships, I was in a marriage for 5 years. with a male. And let me see. Oh my gosh. Oh, I married him when I was 17 and a half. I got married.
How old was he
He was 36.
when you got married?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So talk about like predatory energy. That's a whole different story. I really need to make one like who the did I marry, but we'll save that for another day. But throughout the relationship, this person it was very violent, very manipulative. He every other month I would find out that he got someone pregnant, and I stayed. And the reason why I stayed is because love was present when I was growing up, but I didn't have both parents. It wasn't really a dynamic there. The love was there, but it wasn't present as far as like a real family. And so when I had children by this man, I, regardless of all of the things that, he was doing, I wanted to stay because it's like, I wanted to give my children the world. I wanted my children to have both parents present. I wanted to make it work, right? But no. But I ended up running. At one point, I ended up running, and when I ran out of that relationship, I ran right into another relationship. And that relationship, that person, I started. That person actually was I was a victim in that relationship, but then I ran to another relationship, right? But in the third relationship that I ran to, I became the victimizer. I was the one who was running away. Somebody was showing me so much love and it was so present that it was unfamiliar to me. And so I would always run. And it could be scary to just be and sit in love, And I just had that runaway mentality. And people started running away from me because I was just toxic.
Yeah.
And just through addiction, like our last podcast, the addiction, when we consume substances, we just numb ourselves and it doesn't make anything better because you're actually running, um, you're running from yourself. And I found that self love
The
is where you
best.
find the best love,
Until you have self love, you have nothing to base how you should treat other people also, and how you should be treated. And when you were speaking right now, a quote that came to my mind is, we accept the love we think we deserve. And sometimes we don't grow up feeling like we deserve that love. We have it, like you said, modeled in the household a certain type of way, or toxic. And then finally, like, you've been conditioned and you're tough, you're like calloused over.
Yes.
And once you're calloused over and you're in a healthy relationship, whatever that may be to you, you might treat that person bad. And that's what I did too. And I was such a hurt person. And now, I try not to treat people that way. Everyone's going to have their moments, whatever. But now I really go above and beyond to say, what am I doing to hurt this person's feelings?
Yeah.
But the problem remains in my instinct to run away from a relationship or to run away from a friendship because of one altercation. Someone says something you don't like, you guys get into a little argument or whatever, and then it's like, I don't need to deal with this shit. I'm out. You don't want to treat me good? Someone else is going to treat me better.
Yeah.
And at what point, Jai, I'm going to ask you this question. Okay. At what point is it toxic when you're saying, I don't want to deal with this, I'm out? When do you know that you should stay in a situation, whether it's a friendship, relationship, whatever, and when do you know that it's toxic and you need out?
And see, that can be a difficult one, because we need to make sure that we know what love is first. We need to know what true unconditional love feels like. And I think what happens is we tend to just run away because we don't know what love is. So I think it's healthy to know when you go back. Well, you could walk away, take a breather, think about it, and come back to it to see if it's present, because every situation is different, because and when we find ourselves in those type of situations, we attract what we are,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a lot of the times we can just be in a situation and it's a non-self-love situation, but it's all euphoric and we're feeling good and we're with those people. But the moment a confrontation breaks in, it can get real ugly,
Real
and none of those
fast.
people around you really love themselves or really even know what that could even truly be. So I think it just really depends on the environment, the dynamic, and how well you know yourself, because through experience comes wisdom. And I think along on my journey is I had to experience so much of the toxicity to actually know what it is, how to navigate through it, and what's healthy and what's not. And that's just like on our second episode, we were talking about boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
The boundaries play a keen role in knowing what's toxic, what's good for you, and what's not. But when we find ourselves in the running mentality, we're runners. So, we're running from our boundaries, we're running from our self love, we're running from that healthy communication. And so, I would go to ask you, like, what are some things that we can do to actually remove ourselves out of that type of mentality? Like, how can we, get out of the running mentality so we can set boundaries and we can get to that healthy space to where we're aware of what's good, what's not, and what's healthy, and when we do need to set boundaries.
See, and that's where I feel like I'm just like still in my process learning that. And that's where we get vulnerable and we get raw and we remind you guys that we're just humans,
Yeah.
figuring it out as we go. And we can only talk about our own personal experience. But like I'll find myself, sometimes when shit's toxic.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll know.
You
Like
just know.
if anyone is calling you names at any level, and it's not like, oh, you're stupid. It's like, oh, you're fucking dumb, like how, they're like coming at you, really trying to minimize you as a person. Toxic. Putting hands on you, toxic. Not listening to your boundaries, because actually that guy that I told you guys treated me really good.
Yeah.
I'm a person who I need my space. I need to come. I don't know if it's because I'm an earth sign, if I'm just a, introvert, whatever. I need
stay grounded.
Yeah, I need to charge my social battery, all of that stuff. And this guy would be in every nook and cranny of my space. And I would tell him, hey, I would appreciate if you weren't in my house when I'm not here, weren't in my car when I'm not there, because you could get into my car with like the code on the side.
Yeah.
He'd be like all up in my car, and I'm like, can you like give me some space? Walking into the bathroom while I'm in the bathroom, I'm like, yo, like I'm in the bathroom, like,
can I take it in peace?
Yeah, no, literally. And it's like, you're thinking it's no big deal, but to me, these are my boundaries.
Yeah.
So if someone's consistently, even though it's something small like that, it's still like, I was uncomfortable, I'm minding my business and you're not minding your business. That's my boundary. If you don't listen, I can't have you around me. But there's that fine line where it's like, now it's like, okay, I'm having an altercation with somebody, even though it's not a toxic altercation. Do I need to deal with this?
Right.
So I think a part that we can kind of like, what I'm actively doing in my healing journey is trying to remove fear out of it. Because we always talk about that fear-based, projections and just fear in general is ruining a lot of our blessings.
Yes.
And I think right now in my life, that's kind of where I'm coming from, is like when I run away, it's because I'm scared of being hurt. That's a huge thing. I've been hurt so much in my lifetime and I've hurt a lot of people in my lifetime. So sometimes, a true vulnerable moment right now, sometimes in my head, my toxic, the way I was conditioned to believe will be like, I should hurt this person before this person hurts me. That's how I take my power.
Yeah.
But I won't do that, because the act of healing is me accepting those thoughts, admitting I have those thoughts, reflecting on them, and correcting my behavior so I don't act on those thoughts. Because although you might have an impulse in your mind that is toxic or inappropriate or uncomfortable, and you can acknowledge it's inappropriate and uncomfortable, you can be like, that's not how I move.
Right.
I might have had that thought,
Yeah.
but that's not what I did.
Yeah.
So I'm not that person.
Yeah.
So though I'll have that thought like, hey, I should hurt this person before this person hurts me, I will never do that. Or, you know, like when you find $1 on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can put that in your pocket and go on with your day and be perfectly fine. Like, hey, I got $1, you know, God's looking out for me today. And then sometimes you're like, yo, what if somebody needed that $1 today? And you turn it in to, like, let's say you're at the gym, you turn it into the people at the front desk. You know, sometimes like when you see $100 on the floor, like, I mean, so I really don't know if I found $100 on the floor today, I might just keep it. But like sometimes
it's going right in my pocket.
It's going in my pocket. And I'm be like, that's a sign from God. Let me pick it up. But sometimes you'll be in an area where you'll know somebody dropped this. If you're in the grocery store, you know, or something. And the thought, hey, I really want to keep this for myself will come in your mind. Or you can take it and you could have that thought, man, I really want this $100 and still turn it in and be a good person because you know someone's probably looking for it. You know, that's just an example. But like, that's where I think like fear comes from though, is like, I can't be in that mindset of, oh my God, if I don't pick up this $100, I'm gonna be broke today.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
Like, unless you are, then maybe you might need that. But like, that's why everything is circumstantial.
Yes.
But like, if you have that fear, like this person's gonna hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt them, you'll never be able to be in a healthy relationship.
True.
You gotta put not that person before you, but you gotta put your own self-worth. Who are you as a person? The decisions you make. How do you move? That's what defines you.
Yeah. And I always I'm a real open person. So, you know, I give everybody a chance to talk to me. Let's like, where's your heart at? How are you moving in the reality? And I think when it comes to the runaway mentality, it comes from, of course, that lack of love being present. And so we find ourselves in a skewed reality because your perception is your reality. And it's just like she was talking about that $100 bill on the floor. You know, if you can switch your perception, I'm gonna tell you a little story. I was you know, taking care of a teenager who was in she's been a foster kid since 6 years old, and she's just moving from place to place to place to place to place. She's 17. And so much love was not present that she created a barrier on her heart and on her energetic field, to where in her mentality or her perception, it's her against the world. So everybody is against her. Well, that's what her perception is. But even when love is present, she feels as if somebody is always attacking her, right? And so that is that mentality that she continuously just runs. She got kicked out of like 20 different places. You know, she's just going from place to place to place, and she doesn't see that she's the problem. You know, everybody else around her is the problem. And the reason being is because she just completely just run away from every single problem. Every single problem, but her mentality is skewed. And the reason why her mentality is skewed and her perception is that of like me against the world, everybody's against me, she doesn't see her own self. And she's projecting fear and projecting hatred out into her outer perception. And that's what she's mirroring back to her. Because even me, you know, I'm helping her and I'm being present in love with her, but it's so me against the world. It's like two rams, like in her reality, she's going against herself. That when love is present, I even had to stay balanced with this young lady because she was projecting frustration onto me. And I'm a pretty balanced person for the most part. And she was projecting and just projecting so much hate that I noticed that, okay, wait a minute, that's not me. That's the negative energy or the skewed perception surrounding this young woman. And I even encouraged her to kind of just change that trajectory But, you know, when it's not present, it's not present. So it gets to a point that if you continuously run, you're going to find yourself in a corner. When you keep running from love and running from yourself, you will find yourself in a corner to where there's nowhere else to run. And I think that's when you truly know when to stop running, is when you keep experiencing so many experiences to where you can't run no more. You might even end up in prison or jail. Like me, I
Yeah.
ended up in prison. Like there was no more running. There was no more running. So you'll find yourself where you have to actually self heal yourself. So, and the reason why we're coming with this message today is because we want to bring it aware to you guys to be self aware and present in the moment now. The best tool that I actually use for myself is to become the observer. Like, I took myself outside of myself and I actually observed my behavior, and I started really seeing how much I run away, and I started really seeing how much I had a victim mentality.
You took accountability.
I took accountability.
Y'all, when I tell you the amount of knowledge I feel and learn and whatever from this human being, like, no joke. Like, when we came up with the topic today, I was just like, yo, you might have to speak on this topic a little more than I can, because I'm still in my healing journey with this specific topic. I'm 25, and I feel like my life really just started when I was 17. So that's just like,
wow.
And it was just hurt and hurt and hurt right to you. What is that?
Oh my God.
No, thank you.
Hold up.
I didn't even know those things could fly.
Girl.
Did they evolve overnight or what?
That was something, I've never seen nothing like that in my entire life. In my entire life. I try not to commit murder. Oh my
God. I was quick to grab my chancla. I was like,
glad I tried to catch it, if you guys see it, but I'm so glad I didn't catch that one.
You would have gotten stabbed.
That looked like something off of a Godzilla movie, girl. It was like a baby Godzilla.
Anyway,
nature is the best place to heal, by the way.
All of these life forces go straight to Jai because they're trying to heal too. Anyways, back to the point. So, sorry. So
it's okay. It's okay. It took me a lot. Is that thing again? Oh no. Okay.
All right.
We about what, 30 minutes in?
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, what I was saying about Jai is I was still learning how to heal, and what she just said kind of like clicked. And yesterday I talked about, I think it was on the first or second episode, but one of my girlfriends who was going through a really hard time with a breakup, and she just went to the therapist recently. Yesterday she texted me, I think, and it was like, she texted me like, girl, it took a licensed professional to tell me what all of my friends have been telling me this whole time.
Wow.
And that's how I feel right now. Like, I can think and I can know and I can hear it from a million podcasts, a million things, but until you hear from that one person that just ties it together, like Jai said, if you keep running, like, you're gonna find yourself in a corner. And I've been there, and I've been in that corner. And I've been there where it feels, and everything you just said, like, it feels like it's you against the world. Yeah. Oh, my family don't love me. This person don't love me. This person doesn't respect me, because they had a baby on me. This person doesn't like my boundaries. Yeah. This person, blah, blah, blah. It's always this person, this person, this person. But when you take a look, my mom, the whole entire time, my whole childhood, though there was a lot of trauma, would sit there and I would tell her, Mom, I don't feel like you love me. She'd be like, I love you. And she would tell me a million times there was love. And I could have gone to her with open arms, but I didn't feel safe. So I ran from it, And out of all of these people that I've gone through, all these friendships, everything, who has always been a constant in my life? Truly, truly loving me unconditionally, no matter how much I yelled at her, no matter how much I screamed at her, how much I pushed her buttons, you know, how crazy I am, how vocal I am, how mean I could be. My mom, you know, and I'm blessed. Not everybody has that. Not everybody has that. And sometimes it won't be your mom. And I think it's ignorant to say that we don't need people, because we do.
Yeah, we do.
But we need to distinguish, you know, is this person mad at me because I hurt their feelings?
Right.
Is this person setting a boundary with me and I just don't like it? And how you also said, you got to take a step back and look at things from a different perspective.
Yes.
Because you can stay in that victim mentality all your life.
Yeah.
And it'll get you nowhere.
It will get you nowhere.
It will get you hurt the rest of your life. But it's just a little tweak. Okay, I'm looking at this. If you look at one picture, you know, like, you know, those, what is it, the blobs that they have in therapy?
Yes. The ink blot.
The ink blot things. You take a look at it, it might look like a bunny rabbit. And then you flip it the other way and it looks like something completely different.
Yeah.
You got to do that with your life. Yeah. And you got to look at it. If you're not happy with anything in your life, whether it's your job, whether it's your image, whether it's your inside, if you're not at peace with yourself, you got to look real hard and maybe angle it a different kind of way and be like, oh, wow, if I, you know, sit here and communicate with this person and tell them how I feel, and I listen to the words coming out of their mouth and really try to understand them, instead of being like, oh, well, I hear you this way and I don't agree.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. And it's like actively listen, though. Actively listen. Like, you know, so I had to learn along my journey. I'm just going to use myself as an example because I'm an experienced example. I had to learn how to shut up. I had to learn how to shut up. I had to learn how to shut up. Okay? I had to learn how to listen and not talk over people. I had to learn how to get out of my ego. Because it was always me, 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 me. Oh, yeah. Me too. Oh, man. Every time someone would say something to me, I would be like, oh, yeah, and I did this and this and this. And really disregard. It was all about me. And sometimes I didn't even know anything about me to even listen to myself. So I had to learn how to shut up. Another thing I had to learn how to do was take deep breaths. You know, I had to learn how to take deep breaths, seriously, because us as human beings, we're so shallow breathers that we're not even aware of our breath. You know, it's the only thing, it's the spirit, it's the force that keeps us moving. Like, we could go forever without eating or drinking anything, but, you know, hold your breath and tell me where you land.
Can I just ask you guys right now, in this moment, whoever's watching this podcast, I want you to breathe in until you can't breathe in anymore. And release. Until you can't release anymore. Because there's something special at that you know, that feeling when you just can't breathe, when your lungs are at maximum capacity, and you just release and you just have no choice but to be in the present moment. And, you know, there's a million songs, movies, you know, whatever, about breathe to control anxiety. People that have anxiety are like, nah, I'd rather take this medication. You know, nah, I gotta see a therapist. And it's like, yeah, that stuff can help. But why not try the bare minimum?
Bare minimum is everything that you have is with you. You're equipped with it.
You have it.
Yeah, you are equipped.
And, you know, yesterday I had a client and she came in and she was asking me, like, she's trying to get in the gym. And I'm super big in the gym. I'm super big in healthness. Yeah, I'm super big into it. And so she asked me, she's like, you know, what should I do? I was like, just start walking.
Yeah.
Just start eating better. You don't have to eat less. Just, how about you look into low calorie, high volume foods? You know, where you're still eating a lot of food, but it's not that many calories, so you can still lose weight. You know, people think you just got to go on this crash diet. You got to go to the gym. You got to take all these vitamins and these supplements. I don't take any supplement vitamins because all your vitamins you can eat through food.
That's right.
And I do supplement creatine and BCAAs, and I told her that, right? That stuff all makes sense to me. And it took me about 3 years of working out before I really understood what those things meant. She's starting to ask me for names and stuff like that of the supplements. I said, no, girl, I'm not even going to give you the names because you don't need that stuff. Get your ass on the treadmill and walk 2 miles. Start there. That's all you need. because we're equipped with everything we need.
are.
You start adding extra stuff when you've already
Yes.
tried the bare minimum and you want to go deeper into it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's the same with spirituality.
Yeah.
Start with breath work,
Yes.
meditation,
Yes.
and yoga.
Yes.
If you haven't even tried that, or journaling, if you haven't even tried that stuff yet, don't go to an energy healer, get your chakras aligned. Don't go
Yeah.
to, you know, all these crazy like things. Just focus on yourself.
Yes.
Focus on now, and then incorporate other stuff, you know?
Yes, I do.
Then incorporate plant medicine, or then incorporate, a therapist to heal your child traumas, things like that. Like, but start at where we started, breathing.
It brings you straight to the present moment, and you become aware of yourself. Because when you become self-aware of yourself, you start noticing how much of a runner you are. You start noticing how much love is present, because you are love. Love is in
You are
you.
love.
Love is in you. It all starts with you. And being present is where you will find yourself. And if we continue to run, you will find yourself in that corner where there's nowhere else to run, and you're going to be forced to be present with yourself. So we just bring this awareness to you today to just stop. Just stop, take a deep breath, and really come into the awareness of you, because that is where love is the most potent. Because it just made me think about it, Tatiana. I'm like, have you ever ran across those people who everywhere they go, they get kicked out, they get bad mouthed, and every time you ever see him, like, dude, I don't know what's his problem. It wasn't me. And everywhere they go, it's just like the same thing about this person, like, yo, this person acting up, and then and they're just like, nah, I don't know, it wasn't me. It's just, I don't even know what's wrong with these people. And it's like, no, the problem starts with you. You create your reality through your perception. Okay? Yeah. And if your perception is full of fear, full of lack of self-awareness, full of just negative energy and anxiety and consistently always worrying, that's what you're going to attract. Because us as human beings, we're magnets. And so if you have those type of perceptions, okay, think of it as a mirror. We're in a dualistic reality. We mirror things through our subconscious and our conscious minds. So when and our feelings are actually the intentions that create our reality. The feelings fuel the perception. So if you're feeling funky, you're feeling anxiety, and you're feeling a lack of self-love or confusion or anything, that's what you mirror back into your reality. And if you can just switch your perception to have an attitude of gratitude, I'm telling you, I can't even tell you how much gratitude actually really helped me to stop running away from my problems. Like, I had to, that switched my trajectory and my perception so vividly to be like, you know what? These people are crazy, and things may not be working out for me. And I was really the crazy one. Yeah. But things may not be working out for me, or things may not be working out right now, but maybe they're working for me, through a higher consciousness, through different timelines. And I found just being in an attitude of gratitude helped me heal and reprogram my mind.
Y'all, gratitude is my middle name. Like, I feel like not only do I truly verbalize my gratitude to God and the universe on a daily basis, but people are sick of me. Like, my family, my friends are sick of me. Like, I'm like, I'll have a bad day, right? And I'm like, but you know what? I'm so grateful to God that I have the health, and that I have the privilege to have a bad day over something so silly. I'm so grateful to God I can feel these emotions because I remember a time in my life where I felt so numb I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't care if I was alive or dead. And now I'm over here tripping off the smallest thing. It's like, okay, cool, I care.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was just in Yosemite this past week and really reconnecting with, nature and myself. And I was just so verbal about how grateful I was that I got both my legs to go on these hard ass hikes. I'm fit to go on these hard ass hikes because it was real hard. And I'm scared of heights. I'm terrified of heights. But if I allowed myself to live in that fear, I would have never seen some of the most beautiful views of my life, some of the most beautiful waterfalls. And to be soaked, oh my God, I was soaked by these waterfalls, and I'm walking down these slippery rocks, and I'm like holding on for my dear life, terrified.
Oh man.
Terrified. But if I didn't just get over myself and do it and be grateful that I have the ability to embark on a scary ass journey like that,
you wouldn't have never seen love.
I would have never felt that. Yeah.
You would have never felt love. You would have never had that experience. That awareness.
But you got to verbalize it. You could feel it all you want, but until you really connect with the deepness of that feeling, because, we could feel stuff. Mm-hmm. And then when you verbalize it and you talk to God, you're praying and you really connect. Whether you believe in God or not, you got to really connect with that feeling.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I do.
And it's so deep, and you got to just be like, you know what? Oh, I'm so sorry. I covered my mic.
You're good. You're good.
You got to say, I am grateful for whatever. I'm grateful for the food that fuels me and that tastes delicious, and that I'm grateful for the money I had to buy that food. The other day, I had a nasty burrito from a taco truck.
And you're Mexican, so you know.
Girlfriend, I was so mad, because how you mess up a burrito that bad that I don't even want to eat it.
Oh, man.
And what did I do? I spent $22 on that Mexican food that day, right? Mm-hmm. I packaged it back up, and I went to another truck, and I was like, I am so grateful I have the money to be able to say, F that meal, I'm going to go get me a better one that I'm actually going to enjoy eating, and I tried giving that food to somebody, a less fortunate person than but I didn't run into one, so I ended up wasting the food, and I felt really bad about it. But then I was like, I'm grateful for the privilege to just toss this food.
They should be feeling bad for serving that.
Bro, I was like, what? And but you know what? It was just like
who?
Yeah, like being grateful for that. We'll never be perfect. We'll never be perfect. We're always going to be flawed.
Yes.
And we're always going to be, if you view it from a perspective, we'll always be terrible people, whatever. A lot of people will hear our stories and they'll want to label us. But at the end of the day, it's you moving forward, removing that fear, allowing people to love you, and allowing yourself to love people unconditionally. And to love the experience of it all, to love the journey.
Yeah. Love the journey. Be patient with yourself.
Yeah. And others. And be patient with others, because we're all just on our journey.
Yeah. It's a healing process. It's not easy. And you have to be patient.
Yeah.
So be patient, Switch that attitude. Change it to gratitude. Go out in
change
nature.
that attitude to gratitude.
Take a deep breath. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. We all messed up, but we don't want to run away. No more. We want to be present within ourselves.
Face it. Face the lion.
We want to face that, and we want to bring in that opportunity of love, because love is knocking at the door. You just have to be aware to let it in.
Yes.
Because it wants to come out. It wants to be you. You are love. Embody it. Don't keep it stifled down.
So, Jai, I have a question for you.
What's that?
How do you, when you love someone and you don't feel like you want to love them in that moment, you want to run away, how do you resolve conflict? What do you think is some steps to not run away?
You know what I tell myself? And it's just like Jesus was on that cross. He was on the cross next to, I guess, the two thieves, or, two bad people or whatever. I'm not too certain of it. But the last word that Jesus had before his spirit left his body is like, please forgive them. They know not what they do. And so, as frustrated as I may get, I know to a level of what love is and where love is present. And so I tell myself, like, you know what? Forgiveness is a big key. Like, and I don't forgive them for them. I forgive them for myself because I know I don't want to be in those negative energy frequencies like frustration and anger. So when I do feel it, I catch myself and I can see beyond, the veil. So I see the trauma, I see the root of the cause. And so I look at the root, the denominator of the problem. I look at that and I extract that and I understand that love is present and I forgive because I know they know not what they do and everybody's on a journey to healing. So that's what I do. That's how I look
Powerful.
at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I gotta take notes and use this in my personal life. I think it's such a tough thing to be able to admit, hey, I need help with this.
Mm-hmm.
And once you're able to admit, you bring room for that love. These people that truly love you, like I said, they're on their same journey, but they're going to be patient with you.
Yeah.
And they're going to see you're trying.
Yes.
So don't be scared that you're going to push this person away. Remove fear from everything you do, everything. And focus on just, I love this person.
Mm-hmm.
How can I respect myself but also respect this person?
And when you stand firm in your divinity and your self awareness and self knowing, you know to be patient. And even if that person is off the Richter and their energy is just really, and they're just having that runner mentality, and you understand where all of that is coming from, just you being patient and standing firm and being patient with that person through whatever, no matter where they embark on their journey, they'll always remember you. And they'll always be like, you know what? Love and patience was present right there. And that will assist them along in their journey because all is self, right? And we're all on a healing journey and we want to be able to heal ourselves so others could feel the domino effect of that. It just, clings on to others. So, once again, you guys, I really, 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 truly want to thank this potent force sitting right next to me. She's so truly inspiring. I really appreciate you. She brings so much love. And, I always look forward to doing these podcasts with Tatiana. And I always tell her, like, I so look forward to us praying because, we pray for balance. Like, we pray and we come into union with each other just to actually be able to deliver this message of love and self-awareness to you guys. So, thank you for being that pillar.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, I think that we just like fill our cups so much and respect each other as people, and people watching this probably think we've known each other forever. That's a funny thing. It's
like a soul contract or something.
And it really is like a soul like level. Like there's certain people, I think you told me this too, like you don't give them all your love. You give them like what's up love.
That's
like
right. That what's up love.
That what's up love. And it's like there's levels to how you love people. And we are such deep individuals, and sometimes I'll hang out with people and I gotta be so shallow and I gotta be like a party girl, and I'm not. I will like to party, but I'm not a party girl,
right?
And when I got to be around that environment for a prolonged amount of time, I feel drained.
Yes.
Versus when I'm around people like you, which are very rare to come. We're starseeds,
Thank you.
And when we're around each other, my cup fills, and I swear on my life, every single time we do a podcast, I feel like I could go and run 5 miles. Yeah. Like I feel just like incredible, like we don't have it all figured out, but we balance each other so well to help people hopefully one day figure it out.
Yes. Yes.
So this is all with love. Everything we tell you guys is with love.
All is love. Yeah. And if you guys have any questions for us, please drop it below in the comment section. Yeah. Email us. We're available to just connect with you guys and just bring awareness, because like we said, we're not perfect. We're pure, not perfect. We're just on these journeys. We're still healing to this day. And I don't think I'll ever be done healing. And I don't think I'll ever be done having experiences that is just going to bring
Triggering.
wisdom,
Yeah.
you know?
Triggering experiences, you know,
Yeah.
like are always going to happen.
You will be tested.
God will try you. And I always tell people too, like when you are on your pathway of healing, there's going to be temptation and there's going to be a lot of things that come into your life that you've always wanted. And when I say that you've always wanted, I mean the unhealed version of yourself might have always wanted it, you know, and they're going to present themselves to you, and it's your job to turn it down and to move forward how you want to be, not how you've always been. Because you can rewrite your story.
You can.
You can always rewrite your story. Yeah. It's never too late.
It's
you can be 60 years old and still rewrite your story.
The age of your body has no bearing on what you could do and who you are. It's always enough time to choose you.
Yeah.
So I'm Jai, always staying fly.
And I'm Tatiana, and this was episode 4 of Pretty Girls Don't Speak.
Pretty Girls Don't Speak.
Thank you guys very much for watching.
Yes.
Very grateful for you. Hope you have a great day.